did it, chat. I think. I'm just going to double check. Should have BGM. We certainly do. But it's not being recorded. We are cooking with Gasaru. Right. Now, for all of you viewers who've been jumping in and jumping out for my tests, apologies. It took a while for us to get here, but we're here, finally, in the zone. The zone being the restoration process, amateur at that, of a vintage guitar. Hang on, I'll just get ready to switch over to my camera. And here we are, the restoration of a vintage guitar that I picked up. Here we go. Just going to hold that up to the camera so you can see it. Needs a lot of TLC. You can see the pots are basically rusted shut. And I'll give you a little bit of a talk about what we've got here, because I had to do some serious research to find out what the hell this was. If I prop it up like this, it might be quite sexy for stream. Lovely. And I don't know how much we'll get done tonight, but it will probably be a bit of a tear down. I want to tear it down very gently because I don't want to break anything on this guitar. As far as I can tell, it's fully original, including original flat wound strings. Now, obviously, I'm not at a point where I can record, where I can keep my VODs for a long time. So you would have missed the previous restorations I did. Hey, cuz, how's it going? Whoa, I'm looking right at chat. Yes, it's working. Fantastic. Good to see you. Yeah, so I've done drums in the past. I've done a lot of drums, not on stream. So and that's kind of my forte. This will be my first guitar, but I wasn't having much luck finding vintage guitars. Sorry, scratch that. I wasn't having much luck finding vintage drums. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Sorry I couldn't come around the other day and visit. I put my back out, so I was incapacitated for about 5 days. But I think I'm right as rain now. My shoulders are still stamping and popping every time I rotate them. But other than that, pretty good. You well yourself? Are you hearing some sweet jazz BGM at the moment? Background music? And also while you're here, what are the levels like compared to my voice? Is the music distracting, too loud? Or is it about right? Excellent. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've been working on this all freaking day, trying to get this working properly. This is awesome. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Yeah, it's just because I'm going to be doing a lot of work, so I figured I better have something in the background, keeping people entertained. And obviously, the main focus of the test streams that I was doing earlier was to eliminate the background music being recorded, because obviously that's you can't do that. That's a reproduction. That's illegal. So when the stream's finished, the music won't be there. So that's perfect. And I think we can live with that. I don't think there's I mean, because what I'm doing right now is quite transformative in the process, so I don't think this is DMCA strikeable. But I don't know. It's really up to Twitch. Anyway, so about the guitar. Um, so yes, so I couldn't find any drum projects to do. and I just kind of have been flippantly looking at auctions on guitars for a while. There was a couple of like Japanese ones that popped up that I kind of like the looks of, but they all ended up going for quite a lot of money. The whole idea of me doing restoration projects is to get something that needs a lot of love, and that's kind of, it's not worthless. It's worth something. But for me to be able to get it for a very reasonable price so I can sell it and make a profit. So this guitar we have here popped up. I couldn't get much information on it other than it had been with the people that I got it from for about 40 years. And they were using it as wall art, and they had rescued it from a shearing shed, and apparently it had been passed around the shearing shed a bit. I was like, that's an interesting looking guitar. I've never seen anything like it before, and I honestly hadn't. I don't know a lot about guitars, but I'm willing to learn, and I have done some electric repairs on guitars before. I replaced the potentiometer on my own bass guitar. I don't really play guitar, but I like to noodle, and I like to that means something else in America, sorry. And I like to compose songs with guitars. So I wouldn't say I can't play. I would just say that I am not a guitarist by any means. So I guess you're all wondering, and sorry, I'm really only talking to you, cuz, but I have to be a bit more formal because I guess people will come back and watch this. Yeah, so this was possibly the hardest thing I've ever researched, because with drums I'm kind of, I'm at an advantage because I already know a lot about drums. With guitars, not so much. And I know with guitars there's also an insane amount of replicas and knockoffs. That doesn't appear to be the case with this guitar. I believe I have the genuine, uh, the genuine guitar, and it is a Hofner. Think Beatles. A 162 because it has two pickups. From about 1956 to 1958. Now, the reason that I'm able to date it so accurately is not because I've been inside and had a look at the serial number on the pot, which we will do during the strip down process. It's because this has four knobs. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your tone control and volume. Think of it per pickup, essentially. So it'll be neck and bridge with two controls. This guitar is like the first one they made of this line. Selmer released this guitar as the Hofner Colorama, or Colorama, depending if you're American or not. And it hasn't got a truss rod through the neck, which I believe later models do, but it is made like it's a solid piece of wood, so I don't think there's been any twisting. I mean, you can see in the camera the neck is pretty straight, and I've eyeballed it a couple of times. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I'm no luthier, but it looks good, and like it feels good to play. It's obviously not in tune, and the action down here needs to be raised slightly because the E string is bumping up against the pickup here. There's a few things that tell me it's genuine. The trapeze tailpiece here, the teacup knobs which I'm missing two, unfortunately. But we've got two teacup knobs here um, with brass inserts. This teardrop-shaped scratch plate. Everything on this guitar is made of wood. Even even the pickup casing is made of rosewood, the same as the fretboard. It's the genuine deal. I'll just flip it round and we'll have a look at the headstock. Okay. So as you can see there, unfortunately, we've lost one peg. I believe I'll be able to replace it. But I want to keep as much of the original guitar as possible. Now, you're probably looking at this going, wow, this needs to be sanded back and repainted and refinished. Well, you're wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because people love this old beaten up look, especially on a vintage guitar. So we're going to be trying to clean it without damaging the paint at all. So I've got several methods I want to use. We've got just good old distilled water. We've got distilled white vinegar. And we've also got lemons, which I'll squeeze to make lemon juice. Because it's alkaline versus acidic. We're basically seeing what we can clean this guitar with. The lemon juice is probably going to be really good for the fretboard. I know that. The paint on this guitar is really unusual, and I've been having a hard time finding any information about it. So there's no clear coat on this guitar. It's painted with a paint called Hammerite. So it's a metal paint. It's like literally made out of metal. And that's why you get this, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Hang on, let me bring this up nice and close. So you can see it's got like quite a textured look. And it feels textured as well. Now the scratch plate is actually like, I would say, damaged. Like the paint is not great. The rest of the guitar is the paint feels good. And it's worn out in several areas, and the neck especially. That's stunning that it's actually all the way down there. Look at that. That's fantastic. So I think the idea is that we're going to do a really deep clean, and it's going to be a slow, easy process because I want to do it very delicately. The metal bits will get off and into some CRC, and they can soak. We'll try and keep these strings because they're original, but if we lose them, we lose them. I probably won't put them back on, actually. I'll probably restring it, but I'll keep the flat wound strings for the person who purchases the guitar. If we find a seller, and if I get it working, because that's the other thing, the electrics. So the potentiometers are frozen, all the pots, except one knob, as far as I can tell. Now we need to remove these teacup knobs very gently because they are very old and they could just disintegrate into our hands. We don't want that. Underneath the scratch plate should be all the electrics, including a couple of wires going to the pickups. I'm going to pull the pickups out and have a look. I'll test them with a, the old, what's the majigget? What do you call that thing? The resistance, cable tester? I don't know. It's got a better name than that, but cable tester. See if the pickups are still live, because if we've got a break in the copper on the inside, unfortunately, I'll have to send them away to get rewound, which is a bit of a cost. But I'm not too worried about sinking a little money into this guitar because I got it for an absolute steal, and I already know how much it's worth. It's whether or not I can find a buyer in this country, because I can't see myself listing it internationally. There's only one other of these guitars that I actually know about, and that is owned by a collector who found it in an op shop in Western Europe, uh, by the name of Simon Adele. Lord knows what one of these is doing in New Zealand. I honestly don't know. I don't know how it got here. And the other thing that you might have noticed is that it's not labelled, which is one of the reasons why I thought it might have been a replica or a knockoff. Because it should have Hofner, a label here, and a label at the top of the headstock. And also, if it had been distributed by Selmer, it would have a stamp, a registration number up the top. It doesn't have any of these, which means it wasn't distributed by Selmer. And I'm not surprised it wasn't distributed by Selmer, because it's like this is the first model. Like the models that came after this that everyone knows have a console which has two knobs and switches in the middle, and it's a square single piece console that goes into the scratch plate. Yeah, so exciting. Once everything's cleaned up, we are going to do a test patch of clear coat, possibly on the back or the headstock. So we'll clean it back, we'll keep the aged beaten look, and we're going to add a coat of 2K acrylic lacquer. And I'm just going to spray it. I could apply it by brush and sand in between coats, but I think we're just gonna go with a light spray. I'm gonna mist it basically. I don't want to get any runs in it. It's just to preserve it, because the Hammerite, as you can see, the Hammerite paint is done at stash. So we can't lose any more of it if we want it to be original paint. The blue on the front is looking quite good. The scratch plate, not so great. The back, who cares? Who sees it? You know? And the neck, like, it's got its own thing going on with the mottled wear. And somebody really loved playing around that fifth fret. The rosewood fretboard seems to be in pretty good condition. The actual frets, as far as I can tell, because I don't think this has been played a lot, to be honest. I think it's been a ornament for a long time, because the frets are still quite high. They're not like very worn. They're fixed beautifully. There's no catching. It's just, I think we're in business. You know what I mean? I think we can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear with this one. I've got high hopes. All right, well, let's get started. Right, I'm just going to give this a wee bit of a dust. Just with a soft brush. There's definitely a few spider webs on it, that's for sure. And the first thing we'll have to do is get the strings off, and then get the, actually, before we do that, let's have a look at this little jack input here. So this model guitar did not come with the standard. So at some stage, somebody has modified it, possibly when it came into New Zealand, because originally this guitar had a 5-pin DIN. Very strange, yes, I know, but that's what it was. So that somebody's definitely added that, and might I say poorly, because I would have put a washer under that. And the guitar itself is quite thin, so that's actually a bit risky. But hey, if it works, I'm not complaining. Right, so the headstock's pretty much frozen up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing the pegs. And please excuse me if I get some of the language wrong with guitars, because, like I said, I'm no expert. Hopefully you can see that headstock there. Don't really want to rest it on the pickup, so I'll get something soft to put it on. There we go. Nice little pillow. Okay, now the headstock's not too bad rust-wise. The actual pegs are quite rusty, but the screws that hold them on, not too bad. So we're going to remove these gingerly, mind you. I've even got a little bit of oil and some CRC. I am hesitant to put it directly onto the guitar for all of these things, though, because I don't know how the CRC or the oil will interact with the paint on this guitar. The Hammerite, I've read horror stories about things going very bad. So we'll see how much freedom we can get in these. This one here is bent, which we'll try and straighten in the, yeah, see. Okay, well that one's loosened up, lovely. Okay, there's hope. Look at that. Ooh. Also got my hands on a Dremel tool, so polishing up this metal is going to be a bit of a treat, because we can just use a little machine. It's great. Oof, hoofa doofa. That first click. Right. I need. Where's my multi tool? I definitely grabbed it. Where did I put it? Oh, let's keep going gently. Let's keep going gently on this one. Oh, okay. It's getting a bit tacky right there. That's because I'm going the wrong way. All right. just realised my title says we did it. Stream with BGM is working. It's a bad sentence. I apologise for that. It should have been a full stop. That's ridiculous. Okay, got a bit of a knot in here. Just gonna. Okay. Right, I might just thinking about snipping that because that's. I'm just going to damage the string. Hang on. Oh no, hang on. Yes. Ooh. It's been a long time. That's for sure. Lovely. First string off. There we go. One down. 5 to go. Right, let's flip this over a tick. So that one's, yeah. So we'll pop that off and straighten it. That's the idea, anyway. Let's see if I can get any movement out of these other ones. I certainly can. Wow, there you go. Just they work. Yep, there we go. Look at that beautiful aged yellow on the white tuning pegs. It's gorgeous. I believe I found a model that I can replace this one peg with. It's called something Eagle. I think it's the same shape and size, but yeah, I won't get into that until we know we're cooking with gas. two down. Oh, definitely got movement in that one. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even... Okay. See, it was just me. It was just me being extra gentle. Probably don't need that then. Alright, let's see if I can get a little bit more height out of this camera. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Okay. Yeah, so earlier when I was testing the... doing my soak tests for the audio for the stream, the I think my internet dropped out and it like reset everything, and my laptop decided to route audio somehow straight through my desk, pre-fade, straight into my monitor, full volume, and it almost blasted my freaking ear off. But I heard it drop, and then I heard it go down HDMI to this monitor I've got set up that you can see in stream, and it just went straight back to the speaker, and yeah, it was could have blown the speaker if it wasn't for the fact that it's a studio monitor, but it was so freaking loud. It would have been it would have just been straight signal, so just whatever that speaker's capable of without blowing up, that's what it did. And it was like, it's the loudest thing I've heard in a while. Did a number on my ear. Guess that's my own fault for not going through a... Well, that's the thing. Like, I am going through a little desk. Everything's down. It shouldn't... That was nuts. It shouldn't just go straight through like that. Oh, hello. You a little bit jammed. There we go. Yeah, these pickup covers, I've never seen anything like them. It's like, it's rosewood surrounds with, I'm assuming, some kind of plastic overlay. Or it could be like a resin. Yeah. It's very, very different. 1956. 1956 to 58. Somewhere around there. It's a very old guitar. Oh, and this one works too. Damn. Winning. Okay, but we want to undo. Here we go. pegs, it's going to be a bit nicer. Oh, it's getting a bit jammed up. Hang on. Yep. Just working its way through the rust. I do not want to break another one of these. I've already got one down. We got it like that though. We're not responsible. Okay. A little bit. There we go. Freedom. Can't believe these strings are still flexible. Testament to how they used to build things. Really. Indestructible. He says and then he breaks it. I mean, they're not even that rusty, really. Well, I don't want one on my finger, though. When was the last time I had a tetanus injection? Please. So the stream's a lot more stable now. It was going absolutely bananas before. There we go. It flicked right under my fingernail. Yeah, I think we'll definitely put new strings on it. I'm just going to put these aside. Sorry, I think we'll definitely put new strings on it. We'll just put these aside. Just like for prosperity. But I don't think anyone will ever play them again. But the flat wound strings, they're a treat on the fingers. Okay. Whoa, only two to go. This one here is going to be difficult because we don't have the I don't know what you'd call this off the peg, but the that bit we don't have that bit. It's missing. So we'll see how this goes. But this one, if we can get it moving, accuracy we can. There's a lot of excess though. God. Come on, there we go. So when this is all finished, electronically repaired, I'm going to be putting this through my tube amplifier, and we're going to be testing it out on stream. Should be great. And I'm hoping it's going to have that vintage sound that everyone raves about, that apparently is very hard to replicate. I was reading some forums about, you know, just why people collect vintage guitars. It's not so much because of their vintage. That's a part of it. It's a lot to do with how they've aged, which I found really fascinating. So when people buy like falsely aged pickups to put in their guitars so that they can try and replicate the sound of a vintage guitar, and it sounded quite complicated, like talking about like weakening magnetic field, the magnetic field of the pickup by introducing a draw on the magnet. So like basically, and it was possibly a piss take as well, but they were like talking about how you can chuck up your pickup magnet up onto a fridge and let it sit there for a while, so you like lose 30% of its magnetic strength to get that vintage sound. And I was like, oh my gosh. From a studio perspective, it's, you know, you can probably achieve it post. I mean, I'd get slapped in the face for that, but I mean, you know. That's probably the truth of it. I mean, you gotta break down the, you know, the waveform. What's going on here? What's creating that sound? It's funny because like one of my 12-minute long tests, I had 4 people in here. Now I'm actually up and running. Oh well. I guess they weren't available. Here we go. Yes. Right. The last one left. And they're always the way. It's the last one. That's the one that's left. Okay. This is the difficult one though. Lucky last. Right, there's 2 ways I can approach this. I can take the tuning pegs off so it's loose and just unwind it like that, or I can attempt to move the tuning peg, which is probably going to damage this post. Excuse me, you can't see it quite well. There we go. So I could do that by grabbing it with my multi-tool and going, but I feel like that's going to damage the post or strip it. Does that matter? Because I probably have to replace it anyway to get one of those on. I'm going to have to replace this unit. I'm torn here. I'm torn, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of that with this guitar. What can I do that's going to have the least amount of impact on this? Because that string is probably too tight at the moment. I feel like it's overtuned. Okay. All right, well, let's take the one that's free off, just so we can see how free moving it is. Let me just adjust that camera. Hopefully you can see that all right. Once again, I'll put it directly onto the pickups. See, these are the things. See, with drums, you can be a bit more... with the drums, you can be like a little bit more gun-ho. This, you have to be a bit more delicate. Okay. So we've got little screws in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming that these also tighten through. That's not the side we want. I'm going to take off this side because that's the side with the string on it. Right, so let's take this off and see how we go. But I'm assuming I can dunk these into... Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got immediate movement. That's very good news. Okay, and it looks like the rust is primarily on the head of the screw. And it's not damaged. It's just surface, which is good news because I'm worried about those pots. So we'll pop that into our metal container here, which we're going to be leaving in a bath of CRC soon enough, and continue. Okay, that one's a bit harder. We might have to crack it. That one also. And that one moved. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so that one's got a little bit of rust damage underneath on the thread, but we might be able to polish it off. Okay, so then everything's not equal. Good. Okay, last one. Okay, yeah, no, that's not going to move. See, my precision screwdriver is actually bent. That's from using it for other things. I do have other screwdrivers, so I think we'll be alright. There we go. Okay, so I got that. Okay. And it just pops right out. Hey. And I'm guessing this is brass. I'm not seeing any serial number. But I believe, I mean, this is going to polish up beautifully. Let's get a magnet on it. got some, so these are not, they're steel, obviously, the screws and the posts. So I can probably hit those a bit harder with the polish. But those are brass. Cool. Just going to give myself a little bit more music. Hopefully that's not coming through the mic. Right, let's have a look. So I should be able to prise those off, and I will keep them separate. So I'll get a little container, probably a little jar. And this will be, I guess, right as I face it. And it looks like that's going to pop off real easy. Sweet. Ooh. Alright. This one's a bit tacky. There we go. Right. Let's get the sub one off. This gives me high hopes for the scratch plate, because I'm hoping to get the scratch plate off as easily as this. But yeah, judging by those potentiometers, probably not. Okay, same again. Middle's stiffer. Oh, that one's all right. Oh, that one's a bit tight. Yep, got that one. Alright, put a bit of muscle into it. I'm just wondering what the best way is going to be to straighten these. Maybe if I heat them up a little bit. But then I don't want to damage the plastic. I feel like the plastic will just slough off if I try to do that. Oh, that was... Okay, that one came out a bit on an angle and rusty. This is going to be a bit harder to get off because of that string that's on it. Maybe I do need to undo it. Hang on. No, that's definitely going to damage that. Okay. Alright. Let's have a look. Come on. There we go. Okay. Really? Doesn't want to budge. Okay. Might have to snip this one, ladies and gentlemen. The big... Oh, yeah. Let's take this little tail piece off. Okay. If I can snip it there, I'll still have plenty of reel, but I don't have any... I don't think I've got any cutters. Which is silly, because I'm going to have to do some wire stripping sooner or later, so I should probably get some cutters. I do have my Dremel tool. Could... no, that's going to... yeah. Oi. sense of it, to be honest. Maybe I should just cut it. I mean, it's getting there. We're free-ish. Oh yeah, hang on. There we go. Got it. What the? Okay. Apparently that just sits there. It's not. What? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was bolted on. Okay, well, at least the trapeze stayed on. Fuck. There we go. Damn. That's so weird. Okay. This guitar, man. It's the weirdest. Okay. That's all our strings off. Yay, without any damage. Okay, so we got... This is brass as well, by the looks of it. Right, we can pop this off. Yeah. So we're gonna have to pop our trapeze off, and it looks like it's only in with little tack nails. I think when we put this back together, we'll probably put a what do they call it? You know, for the strap. So we'll put one of those on it here and here. I mean, I can't imagine any guitarist not wanting that, to be honest. And right, what were we doing? We were having a look at this. So that adjusts height. And it's pretty clear that that's the big... So really you can just put that wherever you want. Like you can have it down here. I mean, obviously I'm going to put it back where it was, but that's interesting. It's just floating. Alright, let's give it a quick brush. We'll have to clean these. Yeah, okay. Well, let's be pretty gentle with those, I think. Alright, what have we got in here? So, as you can see, there's your rosewood pickup guard, or surround, rather. Let's brush these spiders out of here. Cha-cha-cha. And this is right along here. There's a little niche, a nick, rather, where the string was sitting up against the pickup, which is because the action was too low, which you adjust with that. So we should be able to, I won't be able to polish it out, but we should be able to make it so it doesn't do that. So I'm just going to pop the tailpiece off. Easier said than done. That's this not roll back? No. Okay. It's... Oh, what the... It rolls forward, though. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. So there's probably a limit. So you can have your action lower. Interesting. How do I get this off? I don't want to damage it. I feel like anything I do is going to damage the guitar. It'll paint all this metal. Do we clean around it? I really want to take it off. It's going to be unpleasant working around that. Right, let's flip it over. No, I'm not doing that. We're hammering into it, for goodness sakes. Right, let's finish what we started with the headstock. We definitely need the pillow now, because the pickups are all exposed. Okay. Gently, mind you. So this should just pop right out now. He says. Here we go. Oh, that one's a bit... Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Sweet. So that's for that side. No little hidden serial number under there. It's interesting. You can see that the Hammerite paint hasn't actually dulled all that much in colour, because it would be brighter under here. But it's not. So that is the colour of the guitar. So the Hammerite's done its job, really. It's survived 65 years. It's so weird, naked. Ugh. Naked guitar. Alright. Alright, well, let's flip it around this way, because we're going to work on the scratch plate. And the other thing, interesting thing about this guitar is that it has a 0 fret, which is that one there, which kind of acts like the nut. A lot of acoustic guitars and whatnot don't have that. Right, first thing I'm going to do is get these washers off. I really want to see inside here, because if it's... These are really frozen up though. But I'm just doing... They're just sitting on paper washers, so I'm not worried about damaging them, because they're easily replaceable. But those are frozen up like you wouldn't believe. Almost need a socket to pop them. Actually, that's not a bad idea. What size? No. Bigger than that. So hang on, that's probably a 10. 10. So we're looking at a 12? enjoy the BGM. Should I go to holding side or should we just leave it live? I'll just leave it live. Jeez, I don't know if I've got a 12. Oh, well, that's right, because this 916 is the right size, and this 14 is even better. Okay, 14 it is. Cool. I know it's a bit overkill, but are you serious? What's going on there? There we go. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. It's making crunching sounds. Oh, I feel like it's twisting the whole pot. Oh, I feel like it's twisting the whole pot. Let's go back the other way. There we go. Yeah, I feel like that whole thing's spinning because it's so frozen. If that's the case, then we need to clamp it from the other side, which means I need to take the scratch plate off before the wiring on it. Okay, but that's... Oh, we can't because these teacups are in the way. Okay. Shit. So we're going to find a way to get these teacups off. That's going to be really difficult because they are... There's like a little Allen key slot in here, and it's all rusted out. As far as I can tell. Actually, maybe we don't need to do that. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I've totally stuffed those paper washers. Okay, good times. Alright, let's take the plate off and see what happens. We might be alright. Okay, that's not a good start. It's just rust. Yep, just immediately chipping away, stripping the screw. bit more light. No, I think that just... Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. Okay. Let's try this one. This one looks not too rusty. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay. It's one down. This one here doesn't look too bad either. Yeah, easy. Okay. So those two are fine. Very rusty though. Might have to redo that. These two on the other hand. I mean, this one, I don't even know if that has a slot that will crack. No, okay. No, it's just spinning on top. Sometimes if you do it quick, it really just gets them moving. Shit. I do have a power drill, but that's then you run the risk of snapping the screw. But if they're this rusty, it's kind of like, ugh, snap the screw and drill out at this stage. Alright, I'll go and get the drill. Oh, we forgot to pop these off. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go get the drill, and we're gonna need a little tiny little bit. Oh, actually, I suppose I could try a slightly beefier screwdriver. Just making a dog's breakfast of it. Okay. So once I get this off, even if I uh, I'm guessing these are going to be replaced. Just some rusty screws. Who needs them? Oh, shit, I got that one. Yes. Okay. No, I did get it. Come on. What are you talking? More light. Yeah, that's a that's a real dog's breakfast now. So that one's not going back in. It's lost to the annals. Please. Why do you screw a little bit and then don't? Hey, what's your deal? Oh, it's lies. No, it's not moving now. We've hit a limit on both of these. Because the scratch plate is wood. Alright, let's try the drill. the plate. Okay. Just see if we can crack them. Okay. Okay. Mm. Oh, shit. Okay. This is why I want to clear coat it. Fuck you. Just, no, the drill's a bad idea, I think. It's... Yeah. Although that head's pretty good. Let's try that. On a swapping screwdriver. Here we go. Fuck. I just can't get any purchase. Okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to drill them out. Well, these pots aren't coming off. That's for damn sure. What's that little Allen key I saw? There should be hex in here. this one moves, so I can actually get into it. Why is that one out and that one's in? I feel like that one's broken. It's cool that that pop moves though. Or was it just the knob? Might just be the knob. Shit. Maybe if I chuck a little bit of CRC on it. I just can't let any excess get onto the paint. Oi. Okay. No, that's definitely rotating the whole thing. Okay. Let's bring it back before we take the wires straight off. Damn, this is a funky song. metal tools in this little kit, so we should be able to do it discreetly. I'm guessing I want to do this one here. We could just grind the tops off. I don't know what's going to damage the scratch plate. Okay. I think we need the slightly bigger one. Smaller rather. Yeah. This whole thing flips around so you can use it like a stand, for product display. How cool is that? Right, I'm guessing it's this little brass one because that looks like the narrowest. I could be wrong actually. Could be this one. Yep. Okay. Okay, it's working quite well. Oops, we've lost contact. that's a lovely sound. Maybe I shouldn't use the little tool for this. I might step up to the big drill. That was getting high pitched. Alrighty. So that's definitely going to take the head off. Lovely. Can we go a little bit bigger? I mean, I do have these cutter attachments. Maybe I could try them. No, we'll stick with the drill. Perfect. Woo, that one got a bit warm. You can smell the hammerite cooking, which is not what I want. Oh, I've got metal dust all over my laptop, which is not ideal. Let's not do that. Oh my gosh, not cool. Alright, note to self. Maybe like a little vacuum cleaner would be the way to go. So we're just going to pop this now. And if it wants to. Oh, look at that. I can even grab it. I didn't see that coming. Alright. Yeah, so we just grab it. Alright. I just... This is going to be warm. Yeah. Hi. Right. Can I do the same with this one? Nope. Maybe if I grab this one. Oh, no, this one here. This one might be better. A little bit deeper. No, this one is definitely still fucked. Ooh, I can see inside though. I can see inside. Alright, this one's going to have to drill out a bit more. Unfortunately. Right into my laptop. Maybe we'll swap ends. this is a bop. Fucking love this one. Alright, this stone tool here. Should I just use it with the drill? No. No. Let's swap over to the Dremel. What's the time anyway? 5:30. Oh man, I only just got started. Really, I needs to eat. Oh my gosh. It's just fuck. And there we go. Right. Freedom. Whew, that smells. It's actually a smell to it. Like, what does it smell like? Old. That's what it smells like. Stubbing of the cold toes. Oh, it's gonna bleed. No. Right, where's that little... There we go. Come on. Wait a second. What's he done there? What have we got? We've got ground. I don't know if that's going to work all that well. I'll have to redo that. Victory! But at what cost? Alright, I'll spin this around so you can have a look. So, there we go. Luckily, we've got quite a bit of room on the wire, but it'll be interesting to see if that whole pot was spinning when I was undoing it, or trying to undo it at least. Look, some very old fuses in there. They possibly have blown. Looks like there's a doesn't look like there's actually too much damage on the solders. And we're looking for a serial number. I mean, that's just got a 3 written on it, whatever that means. And 3. There's a 3 written in here in pencil. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. What's on the pots? Is this a replica? I almost need to find someone who's got one. Which will be impossible because they're so rare. Just to see whether or not... Oh, so does it? That probably should be covered. Oh, what's going on here? Not too sure if they should be exposed like that. Probably not. Let's pop this out and have a look. Okay, well that's... looks like it's glued in. Which makes life a bit difficult for me, because I can't test them. Alright. Alright, let's get this, this should be fairly easy to take off, because I don't think it's as old. Is that just screwed into the wood? Or is it just spinning? No, there's a thread on it. That's interesting. That's one way to do it. But yeah, they should have a little washer under it. Maybe it just, yeah, just too thin there, so you couldn't. And I'm going to have to put an extra screw, an extra large screw there to cover up the hole we've made, essentially. Which is unfortunate, but it was never going to be a perfect guitar. But we do want it to be a working guitar. That is threaded. Oh, that's clever. Okay. But look at the big ugly ring it leaves. I don't know about that. Yeah, there should be a washer. That is firmly affixed to the wood somehow. Why? I prize you out, sir. It's like... Ah, yes I can. Fantastic. Right. So we have, there we go, ancient coils. Okay, so that's the bridge. That's the neck. That's rock hard. I mean, the fact that they're like packed with resin, I wonder if that's preserved them. I'm interested. It's a bit scary though. There's not a lot going on. This is all very old wiring though, which makes me think it's original. Ah! Oh, there's numbers. Okay. Preen, 50K. Not only that, but there's like a weird conductive plate between them. Why did they do that? Oh, and I can see how to get the teacup off. It's not an Allen screw at all. It's a little flathead. Trims are free. Maybe not. Damn. I'm thinking these pots might be toast. see if we can see what's going on now. Yeah, that's what I thought. The whole thing's spinning. No, no chance. Oh, there you go. Well, that's... I didn't think about reading the fuse. Look at this. It's genuine, because that says DIN, which is what it originally was. Germany. After magnet. Sorry, well, Alta Magne. So those are German fuses. So it's genuine. Did that focus on camera? I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention. There you go. Have a look. Oh, it's like a 20-second delay, so I'm going to be holding it here for a while. Can you see that? Is that focusing? Not really, dang. Not enough light getting through. What if I flip it upside down? Anyway, it says on it 0.05. I don't know what that symbol is. F125V volt maybe. DIN 41166. And I cannot see any serial number on the pot. But I mean, if I can't get them to turn because they're so completely frozen, then they're toast anyway. Which means I need to rewire the whole guitar. But here we are, ready to clean. Just said it for curiosity's sake, so I am going to whip out my cable tester and have a look. literally puttied in with putty of some kind, and it's rock hard now. Hmm. Let me think. Crazy. Okay. All right. But the scratch plate getting damaged told me that this guitar needs to be clear coated because it's not gonna, can't take any knocks. So that's good to know. What I'm thinking is that I will I will get a. Oh, it's going to be really difficult. What I could do. It's not. No, it's not going to be original. Um, what I could do is get. I need to get into those coils. If the coils are good, then we can work with it. Because, you know, I just replaced the potentiometers and get teacup knobs, which I believe are about £14 each, but they'll be replicas, they won't be original. I doubt we're going to be able to get those off. Just I'm looking at them, there's no chance. Everything else seems to be okay. We're gonna fix that over there. We can get this beautifully cleaned up, so we can definitely do that. How long have I been going? 2.5. Didn't want to wrap up this early, but I do need to eat. We can come back to this tomorrow. Yeah. Definitely going back to the drawing board, I think. Might need to talk to an actual guitar tech on this one. Because I can't see me saving it as an original now. It's just not going to happen. That's a shame. That's a big hit to the price of the guitar. those pots is fucked. Pots are easy. I mean, they just do one thing really. Pickups, that's different. If the pickups are good, then it's still sellable. Because it's not really a Hofner. Is it a Hofner Colorama if you've got, you know, Fender pickups on it or something like that? No, it's not. I could get those recoiled, but I don't know how busted they're going to get with somebody trying to hack out that putty. I could do it myself, gingerly. All right, well, I hope anyone who came in and was watching enjoyed that thoroughly. Hit a bit of a brick wall. But we're definitely going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. And then yeah, I'm not sure how far I want to take it now. Because if I take it all the way, I risk devaluing it. Or I could hand it over to someone else and they might pay a reasonable price for it. Food for thought. Right, thank you for joining me. I'll stop the string and I'm going to come back and immediately watch it because I need to know that that music's not recorded and we can do this all over again tomorrow. Fantastic. Thank you to anyone who joined me and especially you, Kaz. It's always good to see you in there. And yeah, back into it tomorrow.